Wrapping up my three-part series, 15 more excellent Canadian bands like the Guess Who, perhaps one of the best bands in Canada, huge in the States as well. They did very, very well there. But I got 15 more bands to show you. Come in and have a look. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you have a great morning this morning. It is Wednesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, it's going to be part 3 of my Canadian artist series. It's been a very successful series, basically. You guys have been giving me so many views, which is outstanding, and I truly love it. And so many suggestions of of all these great Canadian bands. Some I've definitely heard of, some I haven't. So I've got a lot to check out here. But I'm going to wrap this up with 15 more Canadian bands. Some heavy hitters in this one. Some of the best bands in Canada for sure. Also going to be including some CDs as well as vinyl in this one because I don't have everything on vinyl. But let's start off with one of the greats from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Bachman Turner Overdrive. This is a box set featuring 8 CDs in this one. Pretty much their whole catalog. It's awesome. They started originally as Brave Belt. I showed that on my first or second Canadian artist. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I can't remember. Which included the original Guess Who member Chad Allen. Also, you had brothers Randy Bachman, Robbie Bachman, and Tim Bachman, along with their friend Fred Turner. Chad Allen left, and they became BTO, or Bachman Turner Overdrive, one of the hardest rockin' bands in Canada, because Brave Belt was more of a countrified pop band at the time because of Chad Allen, which was nothing wrong with that. It's still some great stuff. But these guys rocked it out for sure. 7 top 40 albums, 5 in the U.S., 11 top 40 singles in Canada, 6 in the U.S. In Canada, they had 6 certified platinum albums and 1 certified gold. And in the U.S., they had 5 certified gold albums and 1 certified platinum album. The band itself has sold 30 million albums worldwide. Just a fantastic band in Bachman Turner Overdrive. One of my greats, one of my favorites. Another favorite of mine, and these guys should have been bigger in the States than they were. They had some in their international success, but not enough. That's not as much as they deserved. This is April Wine, another box set that I have. This is the April Wine collection. You've got disc 1, the singles, disc 2, the rock songs, disc 3, vintage wine, and disc 4, live. These guys could go do a beautiful ballad right up into a rock and in-your-face type of hard rock. Formed in '69, originally from Halifax, Nova Scotia. They then moved to Montreal in '70 and based themselves there. They never won a Juno Award. They had 11 nominations but never won. But they've been inducted in the Canadian Hall of Fame at the Juno Awards in 2010. In 2008, was inducted into the East Coast Music Hall of Fame. They've also been awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009 as well. Unfortunately, we lost lead singer Miles Goodwin and lead guitarist, one of 3 lead guitarists in the band, in 2023. And the band itself has released 16 studio albums over their career. They're still going. I don't know what the new version of the band starts like, but I prefer the original artist. But there you go. Another great alternative band, the Trews, from Antigonish, Nova Scotia. You got vocalist Colin McDonald, guitarist John Angus McDonald, bassist Jack Cyperick, and drummer Theo McGibbon. They currently moved to Hamilton, Ontario, Southern Ontario, from the East Coast, but they were among the top 150 best-selling Canadian artists in Canada and among the top 40 best-selling Canadian bands in Canada. These guys are so good. the songwriting from these guys is just fantastic. Really, really good music. Um, this is an icon, and I had to include this. Remember, I said at the beginning there were some iconic bands and artists in this one. Um, how about Miss Joni Mitchell? This is only one of two box sets I have from her. Singer songwriter, multi instrumentalist, and painter. One of the most influential singer songwriters that emerged from the 60s folk music circuit. And she has become one of the greatest in the world for sure. Um, Her songs cover so many genres: pop, jazz, rock, other genres. 11 Grammy Awards, inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rolling Stones named her one of the greatest songwriters ever, and I agree. She may be one of the most important and influential female recording artists of the late 20th century. She is just fantastic, fantastic. Still around, thank God, but fantastic. At her peak, she was no one could touch her for sure. From Windsor, Ontario, again, southern Ontario, the Tea Party. Amazing alternative rock, progressive rock with Eastern themed influences in their music. Between 1996 and 2016, the Tea Party was the 35th best-selling band in art in Canada. You've got Indian and Middle Eastern instruments in their music. You've got 12-string guitars, sitars, sarods, harmoniums, the global drums. These guys were super, super successful. A lot of their albums went double platinum or platinum, and even in Australia they were pretty huge as well, which is fantastic. But yeah, the Tea Party, great, great stuff. Another fantastic band from Toronto, alternative rock band from Toronto, Our Lady Peace, led by lead vocalist Rain Maida. Several million albums worldwide. These guys hit it big in the States for sure, mostly because of MTV and Much Music, with our music station. 4 Juno Awards, 10 Much Music Video Awards, the most video awards awarded to any band, tied with Billy Talent. 19 of their singles have reached the top 10 in Canada, and also they became the third best-selling Canadian band in 2016, and the ninth best-selling Canadian artist overall. 10 studio albums, 1 live album, 2 compilation albums, and their debut, Navid, which I didn't show you, but I have Navid as well, which is an amazing debut album, has reached quadruple platinum in Canada. Just outstanding. Just outstanding. From Our Lady Peace. From Kingston, Ontario, which is about 40 minutes east of here, the Headstones. Canadian hard rock, alternative rock with some punk-influenced rock as well. Great songwriting, tackles many serious and controversial topics. Between 1996 and 2016, among the top 150 best-selling Canadian artists in Canada. They had a Juno Award nomination for Best Group and Best Rock Album. Their lead singer, Hugh Dillon, is a Canadian singer, actor, television producer. He also played Ed Lane in the cool, actually, TV show Flashpoint, which are a specialized group of cops. He was a marksman, a sharpshooter for sure. I really like that series. It's really good. Completely different than what he is on stage, but sure. Yeah, these guys are amazing. Awesome stuff from the the Headstones. If you don't know these guys, definitely check them out. Getting back into vinyl. A short-lived band, unfortunately, but Santers, hard rock, AOR, melodic metal band from Toronto, Canada, formed in the 80s. fronted by guitarist and vocalist Rick Santers. You've got Rick on vocals, keyboards, and guitar. You got Mark on vocals, drums, and also bass player Rick Lazaroff. They were known as Novo Rish before they changed their name to Santers. They became part of the Toronto hard rock scene, and it had a pretty big single, Shot Down in Flames, from their debut album. And it was dedicated to Bon Scott, actually, from AC/DC. These guys are good. Unfortunately, only released 3 albums, and I've got 2 out of the 3. I've got to find the other one, but amazing stuff in Santers. Short-lived but awesome. These guys are kind of a Canadian icon. I wish I had a better copy. Someone's written all over this one, but it still makes it kind of cool. This is Beau Dommage, a rock band from Montreal, Quebec. Super successful in Quebec in the 70s. Vocal harmonies and elements of folk and country music going on here. The name in Quebec expression means mostly certain or why not. They had a stamp based and made for them, which is kind of pretty special, I think. Part of the souvenir sheet amongst Rush, the Guess Who, and the Tragically Hip stamps, which is kind of cool. But very, very good music. Of course, I can't understand a single word that they're saying because everything is in French. I can speak a couple of words in French, but amazing stuff. Another band I should have shown is Harmonium. Amazing progressive rock band from Canada, but I thought I'd show Beau Dommage because no one's going to show that one. Another cool short-lived band from Calgary, Alberta, middle part of Canada. Fosterchild. Rock with country influences. It's not a country rock band, but they've got some country stuff mixed into their rock music. They only released 3 albums: 1980's On the Prowl, 1978's Troubled Child, and 1977's Fosterchild. This is Troubled Child here, the second one. I've got 2 out of the 3. I'm still missing On the Prowl. But amazing, just great rockin' stuff from Fosterchild. Cool cover as well. Right up there with Joni Mitchell. I think this next gentleman is probably one of the most influential songwriters coming out of Canada. And I just chose Reactor as the album I'm going to show you. But Neil Percival Young, Canadian-American singer-songwriter. Just amazing stuff. He's the son of journalist and author Scott Young. He started way back in the 60s in Winnipeg. Moved to LA. Became part of Buffalo Springfield. And then his solo stuff, which is backed up mostly by Crazy Horse, another great band. He's one of the top-ranking artists of all time. 133 on the list of 200 greatest singers of all time as well. Unique vocalist. 52 studio albums. 52 studio albums. Plus all the other albums he's been involved with other bands. Just a remarkable career from the mighty Neil Young. Fantastic stuff. I may have shown this in a previous video, but I'm going to show these guys again. This is a cool box set. The Tragically Hip from Kingston, Ontario. Another band from Kingston, like the Headstones. Alternative rock, roots rock, folk rock. One of the best-selling bands in Canada. 13 studio albums, 2 live albums, 2 EPs, 50 singles over a 33-year career. 9 of their albums reached #1 in Canada. numerous Canadian Music Awards, 17 Juno Awards. They were amongst the best-selling Canadian bands in Canada and the fourth best-selling Canadian artists overall. Unfortunately, we lost Gord Downie, the lead singer, from brain cancer. But these guys were an iconic part of the Canadian music scene. Didn't really hit the big time going into the States. They had some minor success. I think more in Europe than Canada. In the U.S. But amazing music, amazing music. Speaking of successful bands that made it big both in the States and Canada, the Guess Who. What can you say about the Guess Who? From Winnipeg, Manitoba, again the middle of the country, formed way back in '58. They had their biggest success between '69 and '72. Their most successful period, the Guess Who released 11 studio albums, both reaching the charts in the U.S. and Canada. 1970 American Woman album, #1 in Canada and the States, while 5 other albums reached top 10 in Canada. 14 top 40 singles in the U.S., more than 30 in Canada. What can you say about this band? It's just one of the best-selling bands in Canada for sure. Include the amazing vocalist Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman on guitar, who, of course, formed Bachman Turner Overdrive. This songwriting duo created some of the best music ever. This happens to be the 50th anniversary of this album on beautiful blue vinyl. It's just a great sounding album. But I've got most of their discography as well. And another fantastic band. I'm going to call these guys 90% Canadian, because there is one American in the band, but I'm going to consider these guys Canadian. The band from Toronto: Rick Danko on bass guitar, vocals, and fiddle. Garth Hudson on keyboards and organ and accordion and saxophone. Richard Manuel on piano, drums, and vocals. Robbie Robertson on guitar, piano, and percussion. And of course, Lee Von Helm, the only American in the band: drums, vocals, mandolin, guitar, bass guitar. You've got elements of Americana in here: folk, rock, R&B, jazz, and country, which also influenced major artists like George Harrison, Elton John, the Grateful Dead, Eric Clapton, and Wilco. Unfortunately, none of these guys are around anymore, but their music still hits us. Their music still hits us. But amazing stuff from the band. Again, mostly Canadian. Mostly Canadian. And finally, I showed their debut album in my first video, part 1. But these guys, of course, went on to become greatness at the top of their peak. Rush. Once John Rutsey, the original drummer, left, and they brought in this long, tall, lanky guy called Neil Peart in 1974, the band became amazing. It just, not that I don't love the original debut album, but this brought them to superstardom. One of the best bands ever, both in the States and Canada. Of course, and this lineup never changed. Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee, Neil Peart. They never changed until the band broke up because of Neil's. He couldn't do it anymore. Musicianship. Complex compositions, mainly written by Neil Peart. 3 players at the top of their game that could not be surpassed, basically. One of some of the most proficient players, and just amazing stuff. 90th in the U.S. with sales of 26 million albums sold. Total worldwide album sales of over 42 million. 14 platinum and 3 multi-platinum albums in the U.S. alone. 17 platinum albums in Canada. 7 Grammy Awards. 10 Juno Awards. International Achievement Award. Inducted in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well. One of the greatest rock bands of all time. And they're Canadian. In Rush. So there you have it, guys. That was a great fun series. 15 awesome Canadian bands. 45 in total. There's many, many more to show you and share with you. But I'll leave it at that. Because I think I've shown some of the best. So have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.